Alright guys, what is up? Coffee break is here, and the Niners and Cowboys game came and went, and there's a lot to get to, a lot to talk about from this game, some good, some bad, but let's just jump right in. Let's start with the good. The obvious choices, if you watched the game, was the rookies we picked up this past draft, Jalen Hurd and Deebo Samuel. My goodness, did those guys prove their worth in the short time they were in there? Hurd had 2 touchdowns. Both were his kind of style too, with the physicality shown in display on Saturday. This is what the Niners need, and this also speaks to Deebo. The way he went up and grabbed that pass from CJ Beathard, this is the style of play that both of these players play at. These 2 guys have proved they are better than a lot of the receivers we do have. Now, for the most part, the rest of the receiving corps I did not like, but I'll get to them later. I love that these 2 showed immediate impact in the game. Show me that you're in the football field. I think they'll continue to grow in the roles, and I wouldn't be surprised if both these guys are starting towards the end of the year. Now, to my next guy, Dre Greenlaw, and if you watched this game, you couldn't miss him. He was everywhere. The guy has a nose for the football, which is great. What you want in your linebacker. This was one of the guys I wanted to watch, and he did not disappoint. Made a couple mistakes, bit too hard in those play actions, but he's a rookie. I think he'll clean it up, and I have confidence in him. The thing I like about him is he'll make a mistake, and then the very next play he's out there hitting somebody. Short-term memory, that's what you want, and just go out there and play. It looks like he was having fun out there. I am looking forward to watch Greenlaw grow as a player, and to see the rest of the linebacker group just all bundled up. You have Fred Warner, who I really love, Quan Alexander. So I'm excited about this linebacker group. He showed a lot. He's shown that we have some depth. Now to my last group, I think some guys from the secondary played well. Marcel Harris was everywhere making tackles. Coverage, though, is still a question mark, but he was pretty decent. He's a guy that can actually play in the box. I've seen him play in the box a couple of times. Emmanuel Mosley looked great also, flying around, making tackles in the open field. And these last 2 guys, Antoine Exum and Tavarius Moore, who I think played well in the preseason opener. I think Moore will be our week 1 starter. If you had me choose right now, I think he's going to be starting. He's been getting reps as a starter anyway, so I think it's his job to lose. Moore has looked great in coverage too. He's just been the most consistent. And now, where there's good, there's also bad, and we have to get into that. Let's get into the bad I saw in the week 1 preseason opener. Staying in the secondary, I have to start none other than Adrian Colbert, who did not help his chances in this game. He got kicked out of the game for an illegal hit, and you can question whether or not it deserved to be an ejection. The truth is, he did not help his chances. He was already fighting for a roster spot, and the best ability is availability, and the Niners have issues with injuries, but getting ejected was not the move. Since the start of 2018, Colbert has not been the same. I think he got contempt with the performance he showed in his rookie year, to be honest, but he's gotten worse. He's shown no signs of improvement, and it's disappointing. He'll still have 3 more games to show his worth, but, it's a long shot, so we'll see what he does in Denver. Now, the next thing I need to point out are the Niners' injuries. How can you not? Crazy enough, during the broadcast, Tim Ryan announced that Trent Taylor had surgery in his foot. It was his pinky toe, I guess, and he's out for a few weeks. I think it's 6 weeks or 4 to 6 weeks, something around that time, but man, it couldn't have come in a worse time. He will miss camp, and to my knowledge, he could probably miss the first few weeks of the season, which, if you're Kendrick Bourne, Richie James, that opens it up for you for sure. So you should be trying to ball out, and it was disappointing to see them, but we'll get to them in a minute. But in addition to that, we had, of course, Sean Coleman go down, the swing tackle, go down for the season, and Niners just can't catch a break. You're now scrambling to fill that void, and at this point, just embrace it, Niner fans. This is who we are. We're a team who is always depleted, so we're gonna need as much depth as we can. But let me just fast forward over to the next group, the offensive line. Too many penalties, man. They had like 18 penalties for 216 yards, something crazy like that. Listen, the one thing about this team is that you're not good enough to overcome those penalties. Playoff teams don't make those mistakes. If the Niners are a true playoff team, they wouldn't have all these penalties and turnovers. If this was a regular season game, we deserve to lose the way we just mishandled the ball. That's just the bottom line. So somehow now, I expect them to clean that up and clean that up quickly. The next one up is Richie James. Look, the first play of the game, you set the tone by dropping, almost fumbling the ball on the boot. This throws the whole drive up. These are plays that are below average teammates. Even with backups, these are money plays. You have to cash in every single time. It was perfectly drawn up for him and couldn't make the play. That's not good enough. He did kind of finish the game strong, but I'm going to need more out of James. Bourne and Pettis just had terrible nights. Pettis was a no-show. I mean, there was nothing there, and he was returning punts. And Bourne just had a huge drop that could have been a first down. These are opportunities you can't miss. Again, these are wide receivers that were in the roster last year. This makes the pickups from Debo and Hurd this past draft huge because these are mental mistakes. These are easy plays that you should make in your sleep at this point, and we're still struggling, so that's discouraging. But anyways, guys, let me just hear you out. What do you think about the 49ers' first preseason game here against the Cowboys? What player were you most excited about? And also, what player just has you frustrated at this point? Go ahead and drop your comment below. As you can see, you guys have left a ton of opinions in my last video, which I truly appreciate. I try to read through all of them, but I also have another question in the card in the upper right corner for those who have access. Go ahead and just give me your thoughts on that. Thank you all for watching, and as always, we'll see you on the next one, guys. Peace.